Welcome to the TDC Today Show communities. My name is Sue Roscoff. The Disability Channel, or TDC, is out of Toronto, Ontario, Canada, showcasing abilities. TDC is committed to providing quality digital media production services, education, and employment programs by and for persons with disabilities and veterans. TDC offers digital media production, video production, post-production, social media, and podcast creation, production, and support. TDC offers education and employment programming, which includes digital media courses to persons with disabilities who are unemployed and underemployed. TDC also offers community partnerships. Through partnerships and sponsorships, community partners and organizations become ability champions by supporting media created by and for persons with disabilities. And we are your USA team, and we have so many great things to celebrate. I first, though, am going to go ahead and bring in all of our wonderful guests that we have joining us tonight. So first up, I'm going to bring in Mr. Alan Holmes, coming to us out of California. So, Alan, welcome to the show. If you want to go ahead and remind everybody who you are.
Yes, good evening, good morning, or if for those who are listening around the world, good afternoon, and of course, thank you for allowing me to be here too, in the World of Ability in the Disability Channel, in River West Radio. Alan Holmes, Master Connector, Community is the essence of business, and I'm the Master Connector for building it. I had the honor and privilege of having the MC Homes on Wednesday this morning with Kurt Roscoff and Emily Gomer, who had just had an incredible show with EC Marketing for All. It was a kind of a tagline. We were working on local marketing as a master connector with FamilyShieldPro.com. I basically locate, research, monitor, market various different resources, and we touched on various topics, including we mentioned that a guest may be our guest coming back. He was our very first guest with Jared Smith on the 9/11 Veterans Day is coming up soon. So we were talking about our collaboration and just working together. And of course, my brother from another, Mr. Curry, will bring it up. Paralympics is actually kicked off today and had the honor and privilege of sharing that. So mental health advocate, a master connector, and also just all around collaborating, connecting, networking. Thank you for allowing me to be a part of your amazing show out here today.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Alan. Thrilled that you are here. Speaking of who else is here, though, we also have Miss Debbie Miller joining us. So glad to have you here this evening. So remind everybody who you are, what you do.
Thank you. I am Debbie Miller with Prepaid Legal Services, Inc. That's Legal Shield and ID Shield. For the last 18 years, I've helped families all over North America have access affordably and without stress to have their wills written and all other kinds of needs that they have with an attorney. I love being able to help families not leave their family with a scavenger hunt, but have a roadmap.
Perfect. I love that. We're very into scavenger hunts, and that hits home hard, putting it that way. That makes so much sense. So, and one more person to bring in, Mr. Kurt Roscoff, come on and join us. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing absolutely fantastic. It's good to be with these great people here for the show and have all the great people out there listening, watching the show, and supporting the Disability Channel and your TDC Today Show communities. And we really are focused on communities. This group here, we all got conjured together, brought together from the universe through a little something called the Happy Neighborhood Project, so building happiness one neighborhood at a time. So here, when we're looking at showcasing abilities, we want to draw you out of your communities, and we want to hear reports of what's going on and around, like Sue and me. We were out with adaptive water skiing. We had quite a lineup with water ski show, an adaptive water ski clinic, and a phenomenal day taking 60 water ski runs in one day. And then we went at it again, and we had 10 more guests that we wanted to take care of. And so the Pewauk Lake Water Ski Club west of Milwaukee took care of that. And then we were down at an able-bodied learn to ski, and we had a lineup of about a dozen people that just kept the action going, all evening long, right to sunset, where we had to cut it off, so, and then it continued on. We had a couple days later then a practice, which would have been last night. And so, and the fun continues. We have our final Thursday show for the water ski show season coming up on Thursday. And then we have a finale season show, a holiday show on Monday for Labor Day. So stuff going on, very exciting in our community. That's just a sample. And we want to continue the trail of this show, a little sampling what's going on in your community. Back to you, Sue.
Awesome. Thanks so much. So one thing I know Ellen mentioned briefly here, I want to touch on a bit more. So the Paralympics, they opened today. Opening ceremony took place in Paris. So for those that don't know, everybody hears about the Olympics, right? Shortly after the Olympics is done, they do the Paralympics at the same place where the Olympics took place. So it is all adaptive sports, and it's amazing. If you haven't watched any of it, do it. Go check it out. You're going to be absolutely blown away by the talent that you see. So the Paralympics, again, they started today in Paris, and they run through September 8th. So you have let's see, about 10, 11, maybe 11 days here of being able to catch some amazing, amazing sporting events. So I know actually in next coming February, we also have the Invictus Games, which has the same kind of flavor as the Paralympics, but it's all for military veterans. So for our injured, wounded vets, this is a way to again celebrate the ability that they have in the sporting world, but it's the adaptive sporting world. So it's just a different category. It's not better, not worse. It's just different. And I know Kurt and I got to actually volunteer one year at, oh my gosh, I'm actually blanking on what it was called now. It was a winter sporting event that was all adaptive. Why am I blanking on the name? Help me out.
The, was it the world? Was it world or national?
It was World
Nordic.
Nordic.
World Nordic ski championships.
It was, and now this dates back a few years, obviously. It was an amazing event, though. I'm telling you, being able to be there in person. And for example, I know there was some cross-country skiing taking place, and the athletes were blind. Have you ever thought about how they go about doing their sport? You know what cross-country skiing looks like? Try doing that blind. They basically are following somebody who has a bell or some audible sound, so they know where to go. So they're able to follow somebody that way. And I that's one that stood out in my mind when they were saying that our athletes coming in are blind. I'm like, wait, hold on. How do you do that? So there are so many amazing adaptations in the sporting world for different abilities. It's worth taking the time to check it out. So I'm going to pass this to Debbie and Ellen. I'm kind of curious, have you guys ever gotten a chance to see any adaptive sports taking place? I'm just curious what you've seen and what kind of impact perhaps it's had. Or if you haven't yet, what would you like to see?
I have not seen it. I'm just always blown away by Diva, our friend Denise Vargas, and how adaptive she is. Whether, no matter what she wants to do, she just has figured out a way to do it around whatever difficulty she might have in that area. So I'm just blown away. So the whole idea that of all of the sports being adapted to, or people adapting their life to the sport that they love sounds wonderful.
Awesome. Ellen, I'll pass it to you.
Absolutely. I echo the sentiment of Debbie. That Denise is Vargas. She's just an amazing soul. She keeps me. She's actually my kind of team lead for Legal Shield. We saw it in the family. That's why I always give Debbie such a hard time. I love the whole Legal Shield family. But I've also looking forward to see what this great games. But while I was in the service, I actually had the honor and privilege the first year and a half I was there. It was only a short brief time, but it was the miracle, like the Olympics for the children who special needs and so forth. And it was only a couple of days, but it was a couple of days that I wish I had taken pictures, but that was the closest I got to being, and all I was just more of a support. But it humbled me to know that with the individual athletes, they didn't see the disabilities. They actually pushed me to be a better person. So I did experience that from the volunteer side 30, 40 years ago, and I'm going to age myself, but it was definitely a memory that I'm forever grateful to be a part of.
Excellent. So, Kurt, I know we've done a lot with adaptive water skiing. You've seen a lot of different adaptive sports. I wonder if you want to share if you have a favorite memory or two to highlight here, some of the things that you've gotten to participate in.
Well, there's actually one that I haven't able to participate in terms of their actual events, but I've seen the videos. I just want to give a spotlight to my team Triumph, because being a community organizer and networking and kind of, positioning adaptive sports in its rightful place, I really learned the tenacity that you can have in this, just being very unapologetic for the idea of, connecting diverse ability athletes to an event that otherwise traditionally had been able-bodied. And so my team Triumph is an organization that brings forth the fashion of endurance sports. So we're talking marathons, triathlons, duathlons, Ironman type formats, and these endurance sports athletes, embrace the diverse ability athletes, and it's created the, creative equipment of a running wheelchair. So the idea is it creates that hybrid connection between the able-bodied athlete and the wheelchair user, so that the diverse ability athlete goes into the running chair, and then the able-bodied runner, like if you think of the motion of running, they have this all ergonomically correct for running, that they have a bar, which the running athlete, the able-bodied athlete, is able to propel the running chair. And, the real notoriety here is that when these organizers from my team Triumph go to an existing event that has always been able-bodied and say, hey, we got all these diverse ability athletes, this is our program, what about being a part of your event? See, then what happens is the organizer of the able-bodied event starts to coordinate where those athletes are going to come in. And the story told is that they get this invite to say, yeah, we're looking forward to, love to have you, and yeah, you guys can come right up behind, and we'll have all the able-bodied athletes, and then you can have the diverse ability athletes just continue on and be the tail end of it. Well, as soon as somebody says that, these organizers of my team Triumph says, nope, sorry, not a good fit. And they just dash. They don't even continue the conversation. They just dash, because what they want is they want people in the mindset that these are forerunners, that these diverse ability athletes are now leading the event. And so that's what you see when my team Triumph is involved. The running wheelchairs are at the front line, right at the starting line, and all the able-bodied athletes show their support from behind. Now that's making true captains at my team Triumph.
Excellent. Love that. That is something that we've had the pleasure of a good friend of ours introducing that sport to us. And I've been so impressed by everybody in that, because realistically, even when you think about a marathon, that's an endurance event, right? So as the running athlete, that is a whole nother level of endurance. You're not just running now, you're also pushing the stroller. I don't know what the correct terminology is for the rolling unit.
Running wheelchair.
Running wheelchair. Thank you. So for the running wheelchair, then to have that added piece in that exertion that the runner has, and from what I've also been shared by the athletes in the running chair, it's quite the endurance for them as well to be going along for, how long does it take to run a marathon? It's an endurance sport. It's hours. It's not a couple of minutes of a sprint. That's a long time to be out in the elements and doing the activity. They are 100% involved, and as the athlete in the chair, they are called captain. They are the captain of that running team. It's amazing. If you've not seen it or heard of this, look it up. My Team Triumph is what it's called, and it really is a great, great program that they have. And I can't say enough good things about it. I've only heard good, and it's for a reason. It's that good. So I'm excited to see then with the Paralympics going on now in Paris. Um, Maybe we can touch on that next week in our program to have some highlights of things that are taking place, and because I'm picturing all the different sports that are going to be happening here in the next couple of weeks. There's so many options. It's going to be amazing. So, Kurt, I just want to double check with you. Did you have anything else you wanted to make sure we highlight before I start taking a wrong tangent here? Did you have anything else?
Well, I can put a little reveal out there that our team here is working with another show with another producer of TV and video show. And so speaking to this gentleman, he has us thinking about Jerry Lewis and the days when we had with Jerry Lewis the MDA telethon and everything. And so we're kind of looking at how we all experienced that and creating a nice collaborative project where we all work together in that type of fashion to support nonprofits. So as we talk about these groups that are nonprofits, stand by as the Disability Channel is working on some creative ways to boost the support that the channel is getting. Partners like Project iHeart and other nonprofits. And then I think we want to highlight a fundraiser that we have going here at the Disability Channel. So Sue, go ahead and work that up.
Excellent. All right. Well, Emily, I know we do have Emily Golmer joining us here as well, and she is going to take the wheel for a moment to share a bit about this event that's coming up. So, Emily, I'm going to pass it to you.
Okay, so in just over a month, on October 12th, the Disability Channel is going to be having a fundraiser. And so 6 p.m. to midnight, which I believe is Eastern. So that'd be from like 5 to 11 Central. And all donations are going to go towards the Veterans House Alliance International. And they're also going to be having a 50-50 raffle. And I guess have a special guest of Dave Rave and Teenage Head, and I guess Freedom Train is going to be there. And they have different sponsors like Project iHeart, TV, SiriusXM, Records, there's other things. So I'd highly encourage everybody to help support the Disability Channel as much as you can, whether that's financially or not financially, volunteering its own. But yeah, the Disability Channel does a lot of great work and stuff with people with disabilities and veterans, and with their whole education program called Digital Ventures and so on. I just ask that please support them as in whatever way are able to.
Excellent. All right. Thank you so much for sharing. I'm going to take just a moment here and go around the room to just share any final thoughts. Even I'm thinking it's, school starting soon. So that's another thing that will be an easy upcoming topic as well. But just wanted to have open up to have everybody given a chance to share whatever is on your mind as we are wrapping up tonight. So Alan, I'm going to go ahead and start with you.
Well, I just want to say thank you again to the Disability Channel and the Spirit of the Games and all those who've been in my life. I got the honor and privilege of meeting Santa Papa earlier, and I brought him up because he's going to be reading to the little children across the world. He has a great project. And then, of course, I learned today that Community Paid Forward with my buddy Zach Clayton is an amazing event that he's going to be doing with veterans over the Christmas. So get a hold of me if you want to learn more about that. I'm going to be kind of pushing him forward and just supporting him with that. And of course, just everything here, the Disability Channel and everything you stand for. Thank you so much for allowing me to be a part of your world. Back to you, Sue and Emily, Debbie, and Kurt.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Alan. So Debbie, I will pass it to you next. Final thoughts?
Well, thank you. Great to hear what Emily's talking about, and that sounds like a great show. And amazingly, how quickly October will be here. So we need to get the word out quickly to all of our friends to help support it. So thanks, and I'm sure we'll find Emily's documents someplace online so we can share it all over the world. Thanks, Emily. And
Awesome.
thanks, Sue.
Very good. So glad you guys are joining us tonight. Emily, I'm going to pass it to you next for a final thought.
Just would like to thank Debbie and Alan and for joining us tonight. And we are here every Wednesday at the same time, 8 o'clock Central, and we'd love to have you on shows. Let us know. So over to you, Kurt.
So, folks, in a past show, I brought up the key word of belonging. You for sure belong here. Anybody who's hearing or watching the show or otherwise aware of this show, everybody belongs here at the Disability Channel, showcasing abilities. And we're definitely in the format of being television for all. And I think of our friend Christian Mendez, who is EC Marketing for all. And so, we use that mantra here, like with our water skiing, we say everybody skis. And so that's how we move forward. And on the other side of belonging is being available. And that's what I had to learn. I had to learn that, folks, to be more available to the disability community. And that's what happened through water skiing when it pierced my heart through the sport that I love to see that my friends were challenged and making it possible that we were doing adaptive water skiing, a ski show. It was temporarily something that was displaced and did not proceed on the night that Sue and I thought it ought to have happened. But we made it possible that, yes, everybody skis, and we made our lives available to people with disabilities like never, ever before. And that is when the magic happened. It was like opening up Pandora's box of abundance. I recommend it to everyone out there. Let's do it together. Let's include everyone, and let's give everybody on earth the sensation of that. Yes, indeed, they belong. Back to you, Sue.
Awesome. Yeah, if we can take that perspective on anything that comes up, we all have challenges in life, right? We all have challenges every day. And if you can look at the blessing within the challenge, because if we didn't have that day all those years ago where our friend didn't get to ski, we would not have had the massive success that we've had even just this past week, being able to have our local events here with adaptive skiing where we had 60 ski runs on Friday and 10 more on Saturday. That never would have happened. So you got to find look at the positive in what's going on. Even in the negative, there's a positive in there somewhere. Yeah, you gotta look sometimes. Sometimes you gotta look harder than others, but it's worth it to take that time to look and find, and you just never know where it's gonna take you. So Alan, Debbie, Emily, and Kurt, so glad you guys are here as our community with the Today Show. So thanks so much for all you do. And I always like to say, as always,